The Philippines is entering a decisive moment in its defense modernization, and nowhere is the shift more visible than in its growing interest in next-generation missile systems. Although many of the recent developments remain unofficial or fall into the category of strategic rumors, taken together, they reveal a deeper transformation in Manila's thinking. The country is trying to move from a traditionally reactive, patrol-centric Navy and Air Force toward a force capable of real deterrence across multiple domains. With no domestic missile industry of its own, the Philippines must look abroad, and the emerging competition among potential suppliers has created a silent but consequential race. Understanding this race provides insight not only into procurement tendencies, but into the evolving geopolitical identity of the Philippines. The strategic context explains why Manila is under pressure to expand its missile capabilities. The country occupies a crucial position in the first island chain, facing sustained gray zone pressure from Chinese Coast Guard ships, maritime militia, drones, and undersea patrols. Its exclusive economic zone spans more than 2.2 million square kilometers, yet it has historically lacked layered air defense, credible long-range surface-to-surface strike systems, and modern ship-launched anti-ship weapons. The acquisition of the BrahMos coastal battery was a breakthrough, but it also highlighted how thin the rest of the force structure remains. Horizon 3, the current modernization phase, acknowledges that the Philippines must develop multi-layered missile capabilities if it wants to shape the strategic environment rather than merely respond to it. India enters the race as the most established partner because it is the only country that has already delivered a major system. Manila's first BrahMos shore-based missile battery, procured through a contract worth approximately $375 million United States dollars, has become the core of Philippine anti-ship deterrence. India is positioning itself to build on that success by offering enhanced BrahMos variants, ship-launched models, and even future systems, such as the Nirbhai land attack cruise missile. India's advantages are clear: competitive pricing, relatively flexible export policies, and shared maritime concerns regarding China. However, India also faces constraints. BrahMos production capacity is still limited, delivery timelines can be extended, and integrating Indian missiles onto non-Indian naval platforms requires careful engineering. India is the safest short-term supplier, but its ability to scale into broader missile architecture remains uncertain. South Korea is arguably the most aggressive challenger in the competition. Seoul already dominates Philippine naval procurement through frigates, corvettes, and offshore patrol vessels, and the two countries' defense industries have long-standing cooperation in radar, combat management systems, and electronics. Rumors that Manila is negotiating for new South Korean anti-ship missiles are entirely consistent with this trend. Systems such as the Seastar SSM-700K or the more advanced Haeseong family would integrate naturally with Korean-designed warships already in Philippine service. South Korea could also theoretically offer longer-range systems, such as those belonging to the Hyunmoo series, although their exportability is shaped by Washington's sensitivity to missile proliferation on the first island chain. Korea's advantage is compatibility and industrial synergy, but its long-range strike options remain politically sensitive. The United States looms in the background as the most technologically capable provider, but also the most politically constrained. The idea that the Philippines may seek a mid-range capability similar to the American Typhoon system reflects Manila's awareness of its geographic vulnerability and its desire to create standoff deterrence. However, supplying such systems is not straightforward. Platforms like the Tomahawk cruise missile, the SM-6 multi-role missile, or the long-range anti-ship missile involve deep political approval and long foreign military sales timelines. Washington's strategic calculations include not only China, but also alliance management and escalation control. The United States has the potential to transform Philippine capabilities more than any other country, but it is also the least predictable supplier. If the regional situation deteriorates sharply, American policy may shift, but under normal conditions, missile transfers remain tightly controlled. Japan is emerging as a new but highly consequential player. The reciprocal access agreement between Tokyo and Manila is not simply a military logistics pact. It sets the foundation for deeper strategic cooperation. Japan's modernization of its own missile forces, including the extension of the Type 12 surface-to-ship missile to ranges exceeding 900 kilometers, has created new export opportunities. While Tokyo has historically been restrictive about missile exports, its security environment has changed rapidly. A future in which Japan provides advanced anti-ship or even limited strike missiles to the Philippines is no longer implausible. Japan's strengths are reliability, political alignment, and high-quality engineering. Its weakness lies in domestic political constraints and the lack of precedent for exporting high-end missiles to Southeast Asia. Turkey enters the competition as a pragmatic outsider with an increasingly global defense industry. With the Philippines suspending new defense deals with Israel, space has opened for alternative suppliers. Turkey has aggressively marketed systems such as the Atmak-A anti-ship missile and the Hisar series of short and medium-range air defense systems. These tools could fill important gaps in the Philippine force structure at relatively manageable cost. Turkey's strengths include fast delivery schedules and minimal political conditions. However, integrating Turkish systems into a force structure dominated by Korean, American, and European electronics may present technical challenges, and the Philippines has little existing interoperability with Turkish platforms. France completes the field as a high-end but expensive option. Paris has been courting Manila through submarine offers and naval cooperation, and French missiles such as the Exocet Block 3C or the Aster air defense family would represent major improvements in specific mission areas. However, French systems come with high procurement and sustainment costs and relatively long delivery timelines. They are best suited for niche capabilities rather than forming the backbone of a Philippine missile architecture. France's future role likely depends on whether Manila proceeds with French submarines, which would bring with them an ecosystem of compatible munitions. Comparing these actors reveals distinct competitive advantages. India leads in current commitments and low-risk expansion. Korea leads in compatibility and industrial momentum. The United States leads in capability but is constrained by political caution. Japan leads in strategic alignment and potential long-range solutions should its export posture evolve. Turkey leads in affordability and speed. And France leads in specialized, high-end solutions. The question is, which configuration creates the best overall missile ecosystem for Manila? Several future scenarios emerge. In the first, the Philippines expands BrahMos procurement, and India becomes the anchor supplier for shore-based strike. In the second, Manila acquires Korean anti-ship missiles for its warships, creating a unified Korean ecosystem from hull to weapon. In the third, a shift in the United States posture leads to the transfer of mid-range strike capabilities, fundamentally altering the regional balance. In the fourth, Japan overcomes domestic political constraints and delivers long-range Type 12 missiles, creating a new axis in the northern first island chain. In all cases, the silent race matters because missile capability defines strategic influence. In the context of rising Chinese pressure, the Philippines cannot rely solely on presence or diplomacy. It must build a layered missile defense and strike architecture that supports deterrence and aligns with allies. The competition among India, Korea, the United States, Japan, Turkey, and France is not just a procurement contest. It is a reflection of how the Philippines is positioning itself in the Indo-Pacific security structure. Whichever country wins this race will not only supply hardware, but shape Manila's strategic trajectory for decades.